Hello there, good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in and for watching this ANF Plus, Atlanta News First Plus stream. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin with a check here of your First Alert forecast. Again, this is just one part of this evening's ANF Plus stream. We'll also have anchor Karli Barnett here with the latest news headlines, and including following the funeral of a fallen Georgia Army sergeant with a strike that occurred, of course, here a few weeks ago. It's been dominating the national worldwide news headlines. We'll have an update on that in just a moment, though. First, do want to begin with your First Alert forecast. Today was a First Alert weather day. Colder weather filtering in, kind of a shock to the system, pushing 70 degrees several afternoons this week, getting into the weekend. We had that sharp cold front move through last night. Probably thought it was going to be a mild weekend if you weren't watching the First Alert forecast, and then very quickly changes arrives. That's what we're here to cover tonight on the ANF Plus stream, at least forecast-wise. And we really have a few days of cold weather on the way. It's not going to warm up all that quickly. We do have rounds of cold mornings on the way and cool to chilly afternoons. So just keep that in mind. Colder weather, more wintry conditions here to stay, at least for the time being. Eventually we will warm back up. We're not going to remain cold forever here as we get deeper into the work week. A warmer weather pattern is back in the forecast, so just keep that in mind. If you don't like the cold, I promise warmer weather is on the way. Though right now current temperature is 40 degrees at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and we're already below freezing up in Blairsville at 30 degrees, 36 in Carrollton, 38 in Rome, 36 in Canton. So it's chilly out there. You factor in the breeze, and it feels even colder than that. So if you have yet to go out, of course, it's a little late, 8:07, but for those night owls watching the stream, if you are headed out this evening and overnight tonight, make sure that you are bundled up. 36 in Canton, 41 in LaGrange. It's cold, and it's only getting colder hour by hour forecast. Let's bring you deeper into the evening. Of course, conditions are going to continue to trend colder here over the next several hours. Despite the clouds, I think we will get close to, freezing or so tomorrow morning in the city of Atlanta. Many on the northwest side, on up into the northwest Georgia corner, on up into the North Georgia mountains, will cool below freezing tonight, even though we have some clouds in the First Alert forecast. So First Alert, the remainder of today, First Alert weather day, just reminding you this is the first evening in a while. It's been cold and it's been windy. Of course, if you've been out at all today, you're already used to this weather pattern once again. But if you haven't yet been outside for an extended period of time, make sure you're bundled up, you're dressed warmly. Temperatures in the upper 30s and lower 40s. By midnight in the city of Atlanta, we're basically already there, and we will continue to slowly fall through the overnight hours. Now, the tricky part of this forecast is it feels even colder with that wind factored in. We do have quite a bit of a breeze still blowing. In fact, this is a look at our Metro Atlanta wind gust. Nothing too crazy out there, but we're gusting 14 Emory up at Druid Hills, gusting to 12 in Buford. And as we expand the view here, some areas are seeing some gustier conditions. A little calmer than it was earlier today, but where you see, for example, that orange down near the airport, Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport recently reporting gusts, over 20 miles an hour. So it'll make it feel colder. Make sure you're not just dressing for the actual temperature, but what it feels like with that breeze, that pretty persistent breeze factored in across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. Out the door tomorrow morning, it's going to be cold, and in many places it will be freezing. Your Sunday begins with below freezing temperatures outside of the perimeter, upper 20s in Kennesaw and Roswell, 30 Sugar Hill, 29 Douglasville, 29 Palmetto. We're in the middle of winter right now. I'm sure most of you still have your plants protected. But if you are someone that has moved the more tender vegetation after our string of warmer days back outside, make sure you bring it back inside tonight or cover it, move it indoors, because we do have temperatures expected to fall below freezing. And as I expand the map here, we're talking a hard freeze up in the mountains. Blue Ridge, low to mid-20s. Blairsville, a low temperature of 21. Dahlonega, mid-20s pretty likely. Rabun County, the Clayton community, mid-20s. Up in the Hayesville area, Clay County, North Carolina, mid to upper 20s. Mid-20s even in Carrollton, 29 in LaGrange, 32 Athens, 31 in Covington, 31 in Griffin. It's really just the core of the city with all of the pavement, a little bit of a breeze still mixing around the warmer and cooler air, and then we have the clouds keeping some of the warmth in, here at the surface. I think the city will get close to freezing. We'll look at how the evening data transpires, but I think just above maybe 33, 34 for an official low. But if you're in one of the colder neighborhoods inside the perimeter, or near North Side, maybe Chamblee, Tucker, the Buckhead area, on over to the northwest side, the Highlands community, you could touch freezing 31, 32 tomorrow morning out the door, so just keep that in mind. A good Sunday to get outside, though. I know it's going to be cold in the morning, but a bright day, a sunnier day compared to today. Tomorrow's still very nice overall. With out-the-door temperatures, again, 20s, lower 30s, still a little bit gusty, so it'll feel 5 to 10 degrees colder than what the thermometer reads. And a good way to tell what it feels like before you head outside so it's not too crazy. First Alert Weather app. It's a free and it's an easy download. That is what the home screen looks like. Just search First Alert Weather or Atlanta News First in your app or Google Play Store. This is my latest video right there at the top of the screen. This is the home screen updating the forecast. So even if you're away from the TV, and so many are on a Saturday night, you can still stay in touch with the First Alert forecast. And for example, it says it's 39, but with the airport, reporting winds out of the north-northwest, stronger than 10 miles an hour, it's feeling like it is 31 degrees. So you get the temperature, and then just below that, you get what it actually feels like, and that will better prepare you for what we have going on through the day. So just keep that in mind. That is a good option if you're away from the TV. We actually have some comments coming in. I just changed around some of the settings with YouTube, so I do apologize. Wesley Millsap, thank you for checking in. Dee Dee Winfrey says, "Brr, yeah, it's cold outside for sure." And then Edward Teach is talking about Nathan Wade and Fonnie Willis, covering some of that story here through the work week. Obviously, it is a big story both in the city of Atlanta, in Fulton County, and beyond. It's a national story as well. We've been covering that extensively through the week, and in addition to this First Alert forecast anchor, excuse me there, might have heard the mic bump a little bit, anchor Karli Barnett here in just a few minutes with our latest news headlines, and you can always grab the latest on that unfolding story, certainly not over, at atlantanewsfirst.com and in the Atlanta News First app. Back to the forecast tomorrow. I want to remind you, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, I'm watching our YouTube feed. Now that I've changed the settings, I'll be able to see your comments as they come in, delayed by just about maybe 30, 45 seconds or so. And if you do have any other questions, comments, concerns, YouTube, one of the places we're streaming, and that is the best place to get your questions answered. So back to a brighter Sunday. Temperatures cold in the morning, yes. You want your winter coat for sure. Shedding maybe a layer or two as we go through the afternoon. It's still sweater weather, though. I know it's going to be sunny, but low to mid-50s. You factor in a breeze. There will still be a breeze tomorrow. It'll feel brisk. It'll be a nice, sunny, but still fairly cold winter day across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, so just keep that in mind. Not a big warm-up anytime too soon. High temperatures tomorrow outside of the city of Atlanta. Chilly, 54 in town, 55 Gainesville, Athens 55, Rome is at 54, and Noonan is at 54. Kind of an even spread of temperatures tomorrow, not forecasting a big difference between, the north side of the metro, the south side of the metro, Athens on over to Noonan. Everybody low to mid-50s, a few spots 56, maybe 57 degrees across the North Georgia area and metro Atlanta. So we're going to be watching that for you in the First Alert forecast. Did want to give you a preview of the First Alert 7-day forecast. And again, it is looking pretty nice, so bring it full for you here. It's going to be fairly decent out there. Just have to get through a cold few days before bigger changes arrive in the First Alert forecast. So if you don't like the cold, I promise warmer weather is on the way. Just have to stay in tune with exactly what's going on because the weather will be changing over the next few days. And it's good to keep in mind that, yes, we're just in that time of year where sometimes you need your heavy winter coat and sometimes you will be able to adjust what you're wearing. And it does look like that as we get into the middle of the week, we're talking a big warm-up across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta, pushing 70 degrees by Wednesday. But again, frost, freeze conditions the next few mornings, bigger changes on the way, and we will be working to keep you updated on those weather changes. But right now, I want to shift the focus over to news now, joined by anchor Karli Barnett. Karli, obviously some news to track, and we just gave folks an update on the First Alert forecast, preparing stories now, but also working on them through the rest of the evening leading up to the newscast.
Well, I know we did a switcheroo today because I know normally we do the news
Yes.
first, we do the weather second, but today we're mixing things up. We're trying something different. We do have a couple headlines that we want to get you to inform you of what we're doing to prepare you for tonight. And then, of course, you can join us tonight at 10 and 11 where you can learn a lot more about these stories as well as our full forecast. But, Cutter, you've got your sweater on. I've got a sweater on. We know it's chilly out there. All right. Let me go ahead and get my video pulled up here in the meantime. Hope everybody so far is having a wonderful weekend. What I'm doing here is I'm just adding the video that we are going to be needing this evening. All right. So bear with me, guys. But this is further proof that this is all live. We are bringing this to you in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up some of these graphics. As Cutter mentioned, my name's Karli Barnett. We do appreciate you joining us here at the First Alert Desk. And we want to give you a look at some of your weekend headlines. So the first story is something that our reporter Bridget Spencer is going to be detailing for us tonight. Now, this is something that we've covered pretty extensively here at Atlanta News First. You may remember that it was in the fall of last year where a man who was a former deacon in the community, Johnny Holloman, passed away after he was tased by an Atlanta Police Department officer. We do have some video here. We do want to give you a warning. This video may be disturbing to some of our viewers here, but we wanted to show you who we were talking about. This is body camera footage from the incident that night, but it was an Atlanta police officer responding to a minor car crash, deployed a taser on a church deacon who they say disregarded commands to sign a traffic ticket. And this happened back on August 10th. What is happening tonight is there will be a benefit concert for Johnny Holloman's family. That is taking place at Bonfire ATL. They say that it's going to be a concert to honor the life of Johnny Holloman, to benefit his family, and to speak out, as they put it, against police brutality overall. So that is going to be an event that is happening this evening. We did learn about this from the latest rally or demonstration against the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center. Opponents call that Cop City. So from the Stop Cop City rally that we attended the other week, they let us know that they are going to be having another rally, another moment where they are calling on the community to join their cause at this benefit concert. Some of those who represent the family of Johnny Holloman have also joined in on this movement against the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, arguing that they both want the same thing in this situation, that they feel that police do not need to be, as they put it, further militarized by a center like this. So there is a concert tonight. Again, this is honoring the life of Johnny Holloman, who was tased by an Atlanta police officer in August of last year and subsequently lost his life. His life will be honored this evening through that concert. And honoring another life, this is a fallen soldier right here in Georgia. Very young, only 24 years old, Sergeant Kennedy Sanders of Waycross, Georgia. We have some video for you here. There she is, and you'll remember that she lost her life during an airstrike that happened in Jordan. She and two other soldiers from Georgia were killed, but today her life was honored. The 24-year-old, again, was one of 3 soldiers killed last month in that drone attack while stationed in Jordan. And today the community filled the streets to honor the homegoing, as they called it, for Sergeant Sanders. She was taken to key places in her life. Her casket passed through key places in her life growing up in Waycross, ultimately ending at the funeral home. There was lots of purple there. We were told her favorite color was purple. And the community coming together to honor her life and honor her service. She was known for her talents on the basketball court, also the mentorship of young people in the community. Her death, along with the deaths of the 2 other soldiers, prompted retaliatory strikes against Iraq and Syria. She was ultimately laid to rest today, and so we certainly honor Sergeant Sanders and we honor her service. And then this story is one that our reporter Asia Wilson worked on for us. This was to help out hundreds of Atlanta's most vulnerable. They have full bellies tonight, and it is thanks to some students at Forsyth County as well as Emory doctors teaming up to make this happen. They hosted a wellness drive for those currently experiencing homelessness, and Asia is going to tell us more about it.
That maybe they're in this situation and no one cares about them and there's no one out there to help them. But I want them to know that we're there for them and we're there to help them as well.
In Atlanta, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
Here we go. Now you can hear me. For some reason, it is showing audio for the story on my end, but I do apologize about that. So I'm going to try that one more time. I'm going to see if this works. And Wesley, you just flag me if you can't hear it again. But I do think it's a great story, and I do want to share this story by Asia Wilson. So let me try this one more time. I apologize about that, guys.
Inside Lutheran Church of the Redeemer in Atlanta.
I know we have about 3,000 people on the streets here in Atlanta.
There was a lot of action.
We've actually collected around 200 people's worth of food, and we basically worked together and we packaged around 200 meal bags.
These high school students from Forsyth County are organizers with Bridge for Good. They partner with the nonprofit called Food Sewa to give out hot meals, offer showers, toys, and dental kits. They also brought Emory doctors with them.
One of the big issues that Tremai and I saw was the lack of health care because of the way the American healthcare system is run. So we really wanted to add that to the event.
People were checked for things like blood pressure, body mass index, but most of all, their kidneys.
The kidney is one of the most important organs of the body, and there's just not nearly as much awareness on the health that is needed into maintaining the kidneys.
As Atlanta experiences cold temps this weekend,
It's 42 degrees and I'm already cold.
these young students hope their efforts help lighten burdens.
Cold day, obviously, in the middle of February. I hope that it makes it a little bit less cold.
While showing love to Atlanta's most vulnerable population.
I feel like a lot of the times they feel like that maybe they're in this situation and no one cares about them and there's no one out there to help them. But I want them to know that we're there for them and we're there to help them as well.
In Atlanta, Asia Wilson, Atlanta News First.
Well, I apologize about that. I understand the audio came in, but just maybe a little low at that point. Audio for the story is better. All right, so sorry about that. But glad we brought it home in the end there. Hey, guys, we appreciate your patience with us. We're, we troubleshoot in real time here at the First Alert Desk. So if there's any question as to if this is live, you can see for yourself that it is happening in real time right now. So we appreciate you joining us here. You can join us tonight at 10 on Peachtree TV, 11 on CBS. It's all Atlanta News First, though. That is the great thing. And you can also stream us live if you're watching us maybe not from the Metro Atlanta area. You can always watch us on atlantanewsfirst.com or your streaming platform. So just to give you another quick rundown, because I know we had some audio blips there, so I do want to make sure that you get some of our top stories. Bridget Spencer, she's going to be working on a benefit concert for the family of Johnny Holloman. That is happening tonight at Bonfire ATL. Johnny Holloman he died last August after he was tased by an Atlanta police officer. This concert will be benefiting his family. There was also a funeral held today for Sergeant Kennedy Sanders of Waycross, Georgia. She lost her life after a drone strike in Jordan, serving our country. Our heart is with the Waycross community, with her family, and we certainly honor her service, as well as the service of the 2 other soldiers that were killed in that attack, which then prompted retaliatory airstrikes in Syria and Iraq. And the story that we played from Asia there. So again, if the audio was a little bit low, something that I do want you to take away from this is that Lutheran Church of the Redeemer, they're going to continue to feed and provide help to the homeless every day of the week in the same place, Monday through Friday, from 7:30 to 11 a.m. So if you are in need of a little assistance, if you know somebody who is, that is great to be able to pass along. Lutheran Church of the Redeemer. So I always try to end it on people doing good in the community and people showing a positive light, especially for our weekend. But we hope you'll join us tonight on TV. And if you don't watch us on TV, of course, you can always stream us online or through our app. But we hope you have a wonderful Saturday night. Stay warm, and we'll see you later.